What is up, guys? Pepper Bell here, and I got for you some Medal of Honor Warfighter multiplayer gameplay. Man, it's a mouthful. And there's a few things I want to draw your attention to right off the bat. As you can see in the gameplay settings here, you can use the peek and lean auto zoom feature. It's automatically toggled on. I like to turn it off because it was really annoying when I first started playing this game, how every time I leaned around the corner, it would automatically force me to zoom in after leaning a certain degree out of cover. The next thing it's going to show you is the controller options. Now, of course, the best thing to do is to go and look in here and try to customize it to your, to your fancy. See what you want to do with it. It's kind of neat how they have the controller setups that match each game. Like, Master for Chief, it's, for Halo, obviously Vegas, Rainbow Six, Battlefield, Southpaw is obviously the Southpaw. So it's quite neat how they incorporated that. It's going to make it a lot easier to distinguish what you want your controls to be. So now, jumping right into the gameplay, you can see here, I selected to be a Canadian Forces JTF2 operative. To me, I just prefer being that because, well, it's my actual nationality, and it's kind of like, if you know me from my previous video, it's like a dream job kind of thing that I've always thought about doing, was being a JTF2 operator. Obviously, I'm not planning on doing that anymore, so I'm going to do it in a video game instead now, because video games are better than real life, most of the time, not always. Anyway, so I want to talk a little bit about the game and kind of give you my first impressions of it, and I know it's a little bit early because the game still has some time to be polished and worked out and whatever, and obviously there's no campaign. There's only one map in this beta as well, which is the one you see me playing right now. It just does not change. It's always the same. So the weapon I'm using is the MK-18 and is actually quite an effective weapon, probably one of the best in the game. I don't have any other attachments for it other than the fact that I have the iron sights. Everything's pretty much stock, and for some reason it likes to throw on cat pack camo on a weapon, which I do not see the purpose of that in real life. I've never even seen it done. Not from my personal real experience or anything like that. It's kind of neat though, how you can obviously have camos. It kind of adds a nice aesthetically pleasing view to gamers who like to customize their weapons and do whatever the hell they want with them pretty much. So there's actually a variety of equipment you can equip. There's multiple grenade types. There's all kinds of nice accessories you can put on your weapon. Accessories, stuff like that. It's just awesome. And there's a lot of in-depth customization. Obviously not for to the extent of Blacklight Retribution per se, or games similar to that, but it's still there, and it does allow, it feels a little bit more like maybe a Battlefield 3-ish, and this game is actually running on the Frostbite 2 engine, and it kind of doesn't feel like Battlefield, but you can tell it's there. You can tell it's the same engine. You can really feel a lot of similarities, although it's not actually quite as smooth and as polished. But it is kind of early. This is the beta. It could be an early phase of the beta. Who knows? They're still going to work on some things and see where we go from there when the game is released. One of the things that appear in the multiplayer aspect of Medal of Honor Warfighter is that they really wanted to give a little bit of insight and emphasis on using the buddy system. Now, basically what it does is it'll actually end up pairing you together with someone of your similar nationality, not real nationality, whichever nationality you pick in the game. So whether like me, I'm just Canadian JTF2. Some other people like to be Norwegian. Some people like to be fucking, I don't know, a guy from space or something with some awesome abilities. It'll pair you with the same person who is from the same nationality, and they want to really give kind of the, they want to emphasize and insist that you work with your buddy, because, it's very easy that you can just, I'm doing right now, you just go fuck off, do your own thing, let him kind of fend for himself or whatever. But the thing is, only your buddy can heal you, as far as I know. He can give you ammo too, he can resupply you, so whether you run out of ammo, you fire off a whole bunch of mags, you're on your own, you need health, your buddy can do that. No one else can, so it kind of emphasizes that you work together, that you kind of stick together. And I'm not entirely sure if there's any extra boosts, I don't know, I'm thinking maybe extra firepower or whatever. I really don't know how that works. Another thing is, when you're actually picking your nationality, you might want to pay attention to the stats. Every nationality has different stats, which is kind of neat, kind of weird, because it makes it seem like you're comparing countries to each other through a video game, and I don't know, maybe some loser out there might decide to take it as an offensive thing, oh my god, what the fuck, that's not nice, you're saying my country sucks at being stealthy, fuck you, and they just might get all offended. Whatever, take it or leave it, don't play the game, it's your own problem, no one really gives a shit, okay, it's a fucking game. So, for example, the Canadian JTF2, we have really good firepower, and we're probably one of the highest in stealth for online. So every class differs, every nationality differs, every nationality has something else to offer, but regardless, they're all generally the same, just with some distinct differences. They're not really regardless, they'll play the same. You can still, basically, you can still shoot people and they'll die. There's going to be no difference there. Just some of them will be more accurate, some of them will be faster, some will have more mobility. So it really depends on the class that you pick, or the nationality. Jesus Christ, I just cannot even get the words right here. So I really like how they actually like to keep the components between single player and multiplayer the same. If you guys remember from the old Medal of Honor game, it was very different in the multiplayer aspect because DICE worked on the game and they used their other engine, and it was not the same feeling at all. Here it seems like it will be, because it kind of feels like the original Medal of Honor single player, but in multiplayer form. A lot nicer looking, obviously, and definitely a lot better and more polished. Although the online was a little bit faster paced and it felt more like a mix of Call of Duty and Battlefield, this one feels a little bit more tactical, and obviously you cannot go running around spraying and praying or doing stupid shit like in Call of Duty, because your accuracy is actually seriously affected in this game. It kind of feels like a Ghost Recon game from the past, where if you're running around too quickly, your crosshairs will spread and you just won't shoot as accurately. It's just as simple as that. It makes perfect sense. You can switch fire modes, you can do pretty much anything you want. There's also, which you can see in the top left, depending on which ability I want to use. I haven't never actually used one yet in game because I've never really paid attention to it, but they're basically support things you can use. I'm pretty sure I've seen guys flying around with Black Hawks and just killing everyone from the minigun. I don't think you actually man it itself, but you do have the ability to call it in and it'll help you out and start sabotaging the shit out of everyone. So the objective in this game is pretty much, I'm not sure if it's one defends or one attacks, because I've actually seen quite a bit that we've been able to plant bombs, so has the enemy. So pretty much just you're going at each other trying to like plant bombs and then defuse them and then just protect them and defend them, and both teams seem to be doing that at the same time. Regardless, the game feels good, plays good. I'm looking forward to its release. I, however, will be picking it up on the PC because the PC is where it's at. PC gaming superior. I'm not really a fan of the slower frame rate that I'm experiencing through this game because I've been PC gaming for the longest time now, and going to console after a very long time of I used to play a lot of console, but I moved on to PC, and now I'm kind of playing some console again, and it's like it just feels kind of inferior. Not to put down console gamers or anything, but I'm really used to having 60 plus frames per second at all times. So this is kind of like a little bit slower paced to me, but for everyone that's played console games for the longest time, you're gonna feel right at home, and the game's gonna be really smooth. It's gonna feel great, and you're gonna like it, depending if you like kind of shooters like this. So nice finishing cinematic scene there, where everything blows up and the enemy wins, unfortunately. Even though they're Canadian JTF2 as well, which makes me kind of sit here going, what the fuck? Civil War, awesome. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to rate the video, comment the video, and subscribe if you want to see more in the future. Take care, guys.